I've come to realize that we have been conditioned to expect a happy ending to every story. It's in every movie that we watch, and sometimes when the movie doesn't end well, we don't like it. We live in a time where it seems to be the case that we are always receiving bad news. We're always on the losing side. Those of us who are fighting for good are always on the losing side, and those who are wicked seem to be winning all the time. Sometimes, when we don't get the happy ending we want, we might even lie to ourselves, or might even believe in somebody else's lie, that the happy ending that we want is really just around the corner, when it's really not there. We live in a reality where a lot of good people are being oppressed, and a lot of the bad people or the wicked people seem to have all the power. Good people are being smeared and painted as, at best, crazy, or at worst, malicious. Those of us who fight for the truth to be revealed, for truth to win, those who fight for real justice, might feel at times frustrated. We might even feel sometimes cynical that these things will never end, that no matter how much we fight, the game seems to be rigged against us. Those who seek to do good may lament with Habakkuk when he says that the law is paralyzed and justice never prevails, and the wicked hem in the righteous so that justice is perverted. Psalm 37, written by King David, gives a response to this situation. In verse 1 it says, "Do not fret because of those who are evil, or be envious of those who do wrong. For like the grass, they will soon wither. Like green plants, they will soon die away." It's a very natural response on our part to be afraid and to be envious when it seems like people who do wicked things, they always prosper and they never seem to face justice. But God here is saying that this will not always be the case. They will soon wither, and like green plants, they will soon die away. Now, it is really also natural for us to be frustrated and say, "God, you say soon, but how soon is that?" But what God is saying here is that all is not as it seems now, that there is an expiry date to what they are doing, that there will be an end to their wickedness. In verse 3, David wrote, "Trust in the Lord and do good, dwell in the land and enjoy safe pasture." Now, what David is saying here is that when you trust God that He will make everything right, it is not a passive thing. He says, trust in the Lord and do good. It's not a passive thing. Do good. We are told, we are called to do something. We are called to be people of action. Trusting in the Lord doesn't just mean that we are not doing anything. It means that as we trust in the Lord, we put everything that we do in His hand. In verse 4, David writes, "Take delight in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart." And this is something that has been echoed by Jesus Himself. Jesus says that when we put God's will first, He will give us the desires of our hearts. Verse 5 says, "Commit your way to the Lord, trust in Him, and He will do this." Verse 6, "He will make your righteous reward shine like the dawn, your vindication like the noonday sun." He will make your righteous reward shine like the dawn, your vindication like the noonday sun. I love that word vindication, because right now it might seem like the whole world might be pointing at us and saying, "You are wrong, you are silly, you're crazy." But it is none other than God Himself who will vindicate you very soon. Verse 7 says, "Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for Him. Do not fret when people succeed in their ways, when they carry out their wicked schemes." Now, pay attention to the second part of this verse. It says, "Do not fret when people succeed in their ways, when they carry out their wicked schemes." God doesn't guarantee that He will stop people, the bad people, the wicked people, from carrying out their evil ways. But He does call us to be still before the Lord and wait patiently for Him. Be still before the Lord. Does that sound familiar? Yes, it's a very famous phrase. Be still and know that He is God. So He's saying that people will carry out their evil schemes. They will succeed. They might even succeed. But be still and know that despite all of that, that God is still above everything else. God is still King. And He's not going to let them get away with it forever. Verse 8, Refrain from anger and turn from wrath. Do not fret, it leads only to evil. Now, this verse is putting the responsibility of how we respond to the situation on us. We are called to trust in the Lord, but this is also saying that be careful that you do not become so angry about the situation that you yourself become evil. Because to be angry about our situation is a natural thing, but to allow that anger to fester and to be obsessed about that anger, to dominate our thinking, that means that we are taking our eyes away from God. We are letting go of the faith in God, and we start becoming self-engrossed, and everything it becomes about ourselves, no longer about putting our trust in God. Verse 9, for those who are evil will be destroyed, but those who hope in the Lord will inherit the land. When this verse talks about those who are evil, it's not just talking about the wicked who are doing evil deeds right now. It's also talking about us. It's following on from verse 8. Do not give in to your anger to the point that you become a cynic, because if we become an evil cynic, then we will be destroyed along with the wicked. But rather we should maintain our hope in the Lord so that we will inherit the land. Verse 10 and 11, a little while and the wicked will be no more. Though you look for them, they will not be found. But the meek will inherit the land and enjoy peace and prosperity. This is the end game. This is the end game for those who trust in the Lord. I can't promise you that things will get better soon. I can't promise you that the truth will be revealed as early as we want it to be revealed. I can't promise you that justice will be fulfilled when we want it to be fulfilled. But I can only say that the Lord wants us to hold on to faith in Him and to trust Him and to let Him be our hope. And when He does do the thing that we want Him to do, when He does make everything right, it will be in such a way that we would not believe it even if He had told us about it. So let the Lord be your hope.